Jacob Stevens, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Hey, was that not an amazing race out at Blythe, California, or what?
Yeah, that was crazy. I am blown away.
I don't want to jump into the pro class, but we're going to get there and talk
Yeah,
all about it. One of the things that I don't think that a lot of the riders were ready for is the heat.
yeah, yeah. No, for sure. It was definitely hot. Um, hydration was definitely a huge part in people performing this weekend, and maybe it was just a little unexpected because the last few rounds have been kind of chilly.
I really, the videos I've gotten to see, because I've been to Blythe a couple different times. No, I've never ridden that particular course, but the motocross track is really fun from what everybody tells me.
Hmm.
Um, and the off road gets rough.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, it was definitely tore up and rough and brutal, and in the heat with how rough it was. I mean, it's a long race.
Yeah, I don't know if I wouldn't like it there, but you never got to ride Speed World in Arizona.
Yeah, I did when I was a young kid. I never got to at a high level.
Motocross or off road.
Both. I got to ride both there.
Some of the stuff at Speed World was really high speed but choppy, and it would just beat you to death.
Yeah. Hmm.
And it just seems to me like this track is kind of like that. It gets you that little chop that just yeah, and your back teeth are getting all beat up because your jaw's bouncing back and forth because of chatter.
Yeah. No, it looked real beat up. I mean, there was some deep spots that I saw. There was some real choppy sections, but there wasn't many, smooth, like chill, take a deep breath straightaways. I feel like the only place that there was like a lot of resting was, on the motocross track.
Right, right, and that's not enough rest.
Yeah. I mean, you're getting a couple seconds while you're in the air, but it's not much rest.
No, not at all. We'll just jump right in here. The turnout looked really good. All of the classes looked full. For the ATV side, it was heavier than normal,
Yeah.
from what I was seeing. Torey Matajcich,
Yeah.
Jesus, she's killing it. She just went out there and freaking just dominated.
Yeah.
I seen, and nothing against Layne Fryar. They just don't seem to be on her level. She's just on a roll.
She's good. Yeah, she's really good. I did see, Laney only finished like 2 minutes and some seconds behind Tori. So, I think that's, progress in the right direction for Laney. But I mean, Tori is just she's unstoppable at the moment, and there's no denying that she's the best one on that track in the women's field. So, um, we say it every race recap, but those girls really gotta figure out what they're missing and put their heads down and work hard to get to where Tori is.
I think Lainey's trying, and I think she's doing a lot of different things.
Hmm.
It may just be experience that's going to be the thing for her, that's going to bring it around and get her, to challenge Tori. But we'll just have to watch it and see. But right now, Tori's just shattering the record books. It's
Yeah.
amazing to watch.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. Lainey is really, we know her personally and we know the whole Fryer family pretty well. So, I know she's working hard. She's trying. She's really working hard, and experience is a lot. It's something that not a lot of people talk about, and something that not a lot of people struggle with. I mean, obviously, we're going to get into, Braxton and the pro class a little bit later, but I mean, Braxton, you know, he didn't seem like he needed much time to gain the experience that some other riders had to be competitive. So I think that experience is a huge factor in racing, especially at a professional level. I just think some people can skip that and some people can't. So Lainey might just need a little bit more time and a little bit more experience in that pro field. And I think she's figuring it out. It seems like she's getting better every weekend.
I agree. I agree, but it's going to take some time for her and her background. Braxton and his background, his father raced. He's got a competitive sister. I think that he just is grown up with that competitive edge, And as he's growing into a man, he's just getting better.
Yeah. No, yeah, 100%. And he is incredible. I mean, that kid is a great rider. He's gonna be something to talk about for a lot of years.
I think so. If the West Coast better hope they can keep him.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he loves the woods, so I know he's talked in the past about wanting to go do a whole season out in the woods, and I know he's trying to do a lot of them this year, so we'll see
He's committed
see
to
what
do
he's
the
gonna
whole
get.
thing in XC2. And if something were to happen, and he because he's still in the points hunt, if something were to happen and he won that title, he said he's not coming back. He's going to go race XC1.
Wow. So he won't be racing West Coast at all then?
He might race a couple, but not
Yeah.
not competitively.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
and
hey, at the end of the day, I mean that GNCC, he can make a living out of competing in GNCC to where I think he can make a living out here in Works as well, but I think there might just be a little bit more potential and a little bit more money to be made, on the west or on the East Coast.
yeah, and the series for the Old Gray was a new facility, and it was the largest amount of entries in a new facility ever.
Yeah.
So it tells you that the sport on the East Coast in the XC division is growing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean that sport, there's such a big fan base. I mean, I know fans that travel just to go watch GNCC, hours and hours of driving, that are just fans, that they don't even have any friends or family that race. They're just fans and they go to all the GNCC races. So I mean, GNCC is definitely the largest, ATV racing series in my opinion, with the fan base and the rider base. Obviously your Baja stuff is going to pull people from all over the world, but when it comes to like just a series in the States, it's GNCC has always been just the top of the food chain for entries.
I'm thinking that they're, not trying to tell Randy how to run his series or anything like that. He ought to look at the GNCC platform and maybe change things around.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that it's just hard. I think that the East Coast or the Midwest, has just a higher volume of ATV riders, and it's hard for when I was out east, I never even thought about coming to race a Works race. So I know it's a lot. It would be a lot of traveling for a lot of people to come out here, and I do think that everybody that's on the West Coast races Works, and if they don't, they did at some point.
But I mean, if you change the program so you only race like the ATVs raced on Saturday,
Yeah,
you only got to be there one day, you just drop the cost,
yeah, no, for sure.
and I think that's a big portion of it. If you drop the cost and diversify the classes and you know your youth ride in the morning, your AM races, your AM classes, and your PM races, your pros and A riders and some of your B rider classes, then then they're done, they're gone.
Yeah,
Don't race your bikes on race the bikes on Sunday where they always have.
yeah,
you
yeah,
know that's just my opinion, but
yeah. No, for sure, I
it's
agree.
something to look at.
Yeah,
It's really something to look at. Your production A and your open A classes were both full.
yep.
I mean, they had um,
It
18,
was yeah, 18, 19 people in each one. Yeah,
in both classes, which is not normal, which leads to a full gate in the pro-am class. But Johnny Shafe went out and really rode hard in the open A class to win it. This is round 5. He won his fourth race. Got second to Corey Ellis last round. So he's stretched his points. Um, gosh, was it Justin? I have it written down. I apologize. I had the name on the tip of my tongue and I lost
it
it.
was Justin Seamus, right, in production A.
Um,
Or was it somebody else?
Gage Leaver.
Oh, it was Gage. Yeah.
And Daven DeSilva is coming doing into his own as well, you know, because he's got his second place. He had some lower finishes and missed a round, but he is, you know, moving up with two
Yeah.
seconds in a row in that class. So he's, coming into his own, and he's a training partner with Braxton Gross. So as he develops and grows, they're the same age, but he wasn't a racer. He doesn't come from a racing family. His cousin is used to be Shafe. He used to ride Worcs and tried to race motocross back east. Raced for a couple of seasons and got injured. Um, so you look at where he comes from, and he's doing great.
Yeah. He's doing really good.
I mean, I didn't mean to leave out the guys in the, Ryan Hilt. I think the only time that guy comes out to race is when he can get on the podium, or when he does come out. He's got two podiums and a sixth. So he should come out more and race because he seems to be pretty fast.
Yeah.
Um, which is great. I like the fact that the classes are so deep. They didn't seem to be as deep earlier on in the season, but as they are now.
Yeah. No, I agree. Which is, who I think, a couple of the first rounds were far, And I know Glen Helen's not really far, but we did have that one in the one out in North California, like the middle of
That,
California. No, I mean there was Taft, but there was Delano.
yeah, I don't know where
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean from Phoenix at least it was like a 9 hour drive. So, I don't know if it's the traveling or the distance to the tracks that, the turnouts aren't as good.
Well,
You
gas
know,
prices in California are pretty damn high.
yeah, yeah, exactly right. And a place like Blythe and a place like Havasu is, in my opinion, very, very central for 90% of the riders that race Works. So, it could be a traveling thing. It could be work thing. Who knows?
And well, Cedar is going to be the next round, so we'll have to monitor it and see how that goes.
Yeah,
Um, Great turnouts though in those classes.
yeah,
I don't know how the youth turnouts were. I didn't get any feedback on any of those. I know that the three wheeler guys had a few more three wheelers there. They had a good setup there. It's always good to see the three wheeler guys.
yeah,
Fan of that because that's where it all started for me was back in the three wheeler days.
yeah. No, for sure. I remember being a kid and Unadilla, the national series, always had a three-wheeler class, and it was one of my favorites to always watch every year we went to Unadilla.
Yeah, exactly. It's fun stuff.
Yeah, some of those guys were crazy. They were hitting sky shot on those three wheelers. They were some crazy dudes on them bikes.
Totally, totally. Not even ready for them to do the things they do.
Yeah,
You know, I think that track was really fast. Um, you know, yeah, when we dropped into the sorry about that, when we drop into the pro-am class for the Sunday race, um, we didn't say this guy's name early, but Justin Seamus won the pro-am class,
yeah,
and he didn't do. I didn't see him on the podium in either one of the other two classes.
yeah, yeah. I did see that he got on the podium. I know I've I've talked to him a couple times, and I mean he's a good rider, and hats off to getting the win here in Blythe, and I know he has the speed to compete, and we all know that those pro-am classes aren't any, they're no joke, and um, he went out and did what he had to do this weekend to get up front.
He's seeming to just gravitate to that pro-am class because he's got 3 wins. He's lengthened his points lead. He's gotten stronger in that class. It seems that that's where he's putting most of attention. It's like he's riding the other stuff uh, just to ride
Yeah,
versus saving it for the pro-am class.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, it's a good strategy, put your focus in one area, and some people just can't do 100% in both. And if you're going to choose one, I mean, you always choose the bigger class.
Well, Daven DeSilva again pops up in the pro-am. This kid that basically 3 rounds ago was a no-namer. Now he's been on the box, in each of his rides in each class, and he's climbing it up. He got second this time. He was third last time, and maybe we're going to see him make his mark by the end of the year, winning his first pro-am race, or maybe winning his first production A race. We don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's been coming up and up and up, and hard work pays off. So keep working hard, and you'll get to where you want to be.
Yeah, Ryland Stedman uh, got third. I know that his name's popped up in the results before, at on the box. So he rode strong, and seems like he did well as also.
Yeah, yeah, he rode really well, and I think something happened. I'm not sure what happened to Gage Leaver, um, but he's always up in the mix up front, and says down here he finished 12th, so not too sure exactly what had happened to him, and why he finished so far back, but um, he's usually one to talk about up in the front.
Right, right. I agree, and you just never know. Things can happen so fast. Rocking the rotor,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, I
a
mean,
hit
there's
off.
there's thousands of thousands of things that could happen, to put you out of a race, and it's 50% of finishing the race is 50% of the race.
Right. And could have been the rough terrain with the heat, could have
Yeah,
got him. Just don't know.
yeah,
I don't have a link to him to ask him, so it's kind of a bummer. You know, we were excited for this race for many reasons. You and I had talked. I kind of figured it was going to be the Travis Damon show, uh, and it kind of was for a little bit.
yeah,
Braxton Gross got the whole shot, but Bo was also fighting to keep the momentum, keeping up the win streak. Didn't seem to work in his favor this weekend, but Travis had this race. It was all his. And it seems to me that he overrode his machine.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he led 6 laps. Braxton passed him on the 7th, and Travis got him back on the 8th, and then Braxton got him back on the 9th, and just kind of walked away with it. And it was a good battle up until the last 2 laps. So I'm not sure if he just didn't have the gas in the tank to keep
Um,
battling it out, or his machine just didn't
he was
make it all
having
the way.
clutch issues.
Oh, that's right. I did see that. He was having clutch issues. So,
Not a motocross
um,
bike, but it's
yeah.
not a motocross bike.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say nothing about a clutch because I was the master of burning out clutches. But
Yeah, keep your
that's I put a I
bike.
put a brand new plates and steels in before every race just to be safe, and it pays off. It's an expensive maintenance thing to hold up on, but if you're hard on clutches, I suggest throwing a brand new one in there before every race. You go out and practice on Saturday in pro practice, you pull that clutch out, and you put a brand new one in for
Just
Sunday.
gonna, I'm just gonna take your freaking hand and turn the clutch lever straight up and down like they did with Henry and take the
I
right.
can't. I couldn't do it. I needed it to ride. I'm a motocross guy. Travis is, bike guy, and the clutches are just. It's a riding style that is hard to break. So, I get it, and it sucks to see him, have a failure and go back and lose a race because of it. I would have loved to see what would have happened if, his machine made it all the way.
I think that there would have been a better ride because I got to talk to Braxton and his gas tank was empty
Yeah.
after 2 hours on Saturday, an
Oh
hour and a half
yeah.
in the heat.
Yeah, I mean, even looking at the lap times, Braxton starts out in, the 7:38, 7:36s, all the way, a couple 7:35s up until lap 7, and then it goes from, 7:35 to 7:50s, 7:45s, 53s, and then the last lap, 8 minutes and 8 seconds. So, you could see the fade that he had towards the end. But I mean, hats off for getting on a plane after racing a 2-hour GNCC in the woods, flying out back west, getting on a bike Sunday morning, and going out and winning a race. I mean, there's not much you could say about it.
Right. Hats off to the kid. I think that, as skeptical as I might have been in the beginning with Braxton, I'm gaining popularity with me, and
Yeah. Oh
I'm
yeah.
believing more and more in him the more he does. And the
Yeah.
fact that he goes back and he's already won two XC2 rounds, he's won two pro works races. He's still in the points battle. Mathematically, if you start looking at it, he can still win the title in works. Yes, he needs help, but he can still do it.
Yeah, I mean it's never over until it's over. It's a
Right.
long season. We got 5 rounds left, and or 4 rounds left, and it's anything can happen to anybody. So, um, I would just keep on clicking away and win, 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 win as much as you possibly can. I don't think that Bo and Travis are gonna make it easy for him to keep on going, but I utmost respect for Braxton for being able to step up, being his second year in the pro class and being able to do what he's able to do.
Correct. And to Travis, you can't take anything away from the guy's a
No,
monk.
not at all. Yeah,
And I think
he's built unlike most. So he's had my respect for a long time.
he's just one piece of the puzzle just keeps missing for the guy to take advantage of it and to run away.
Right.
Because I really think that he has got the skills and the tools to be that guy.
Yeah, no, 100%. And
Got to put that
even
piece of the puzzle in there, and he'll
yeah,
do it.
yeah, just little bits of critiquing his program, and he could be unstoppable.
Exactly. I totally believe that. He did take the point lead by one.
Yeah, I did see that. And it's cool to watch the point battle this year. It's been going back and forth. Braxton had it, Bo had it, Travis has it. It's a tight battle this year, and it's cool to see that there's more than just a couple riders that are battling for wins and battling for the title.
Braxton's going to have to win out and be perfect. He's going to need help with Bo and Travis not getting on the podium at least once, to win the title. Totally doable.
Yeah.
Totally doable.
Oh yeah.
But we'll see how it all breaks down for him at the end of the year. Bo is holding true to form. He said that he was going to race, but winning the 12th title is not the most important thing in the world to him.
Yeah.
Um, I still think he goes out there and gives it his all. But
100%.
maybe this track was for a 40-some-year-old Bo Baron. Maybe it was just a little much for him. Maybe the machine handles a little different. The power delivery is a little different. You know, it maybe his older body just didn't like Blythe. He could have been
Yeah.
sick. I haven't spoken to Bo, so I don't know the whole gist of it.
Yeah.
But knowing Bo, he would never give you an excuse, anyways.
Absolutely not. Yeah, no, he's gonna wear it on his chin, and he's gonna move on. And I would never ever count Bo out. He is who he is for a reason, and 40 years old or not, he is still a monster on a four wheeler. So you can't count him out. You can't expect him to finish poorly, and you know even as many years and how much he's raced, and he still has the speed and he still has the ability to win. So, you can never count him out of the fight. And I do believe that he's going to give it everything he's got to get one more.
Right. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, I
Um,
mean he sits on he sits on social media sometimes and talks like he doesn't want it or it's not a big deal, but as any competitor or racer, he you don't think like that. I know deep down inside he wants another one, so I know he ain't giving up yet.
right on. I totally agree. I want a big shout out to Austin Baxter. Last year we thought he was done, never going to race again, injured, and
Oh
he
yeah.
has climbed his way back, and he got fourth. Logan Huff had an issue with
Yeah,
a broken
broken
ankle, it
axle.
looked
Yep.
like. I want to thank you so much, Jacob, for taking the time with us. Hopefully, you'll be available for Cedar, and we
Yeah.
can do it again on Cedar and talk more about the World Off-Road Championship Series and everybody that's participating in it. If we missed the youth riders and missed some of the stuff, we'll do better next time. And thank you so much.
Yeah, you got it. No problem. I'll be here.